Hey,
Ladies and gentlemen, Kocosports.com is proud to present Wrestle AM. It's half morning show, half wrestling show, pretty much all BS. And you got these two half-ass motherfuckers going to host it. Take two. It was kind of a half-ass intro, so I'll have to half-ass it again. Maybe it'll come out right this time. See, there's a reason why there's two hosts for this. We got, see, if I could do a half-ass job, and Dave over there could do a half-ass job, together maybe we can hammer out something that's somewhat coherent. But let's get into the introductions here. First, manning the comments. So if you got any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, put it down here in the YouTube. We got Pablo from sunny South Florida taking care of it. He wants me to let all of you know he's sweating his balls off because it's hotter than two squirrels butt fucking in a wool sock down there. And then, of course, you got me, the sexiest man on all of our net wrestling radio. That's right, Boom Boom here shaking the room live from beautiful Omaha, Nebraska. And then, of course, the man who just got done sunbathing in his tangerine Speedo. Talking about Dave Kokotis. And Dave, it's actually it's been kind of a good few days for me here. I know I haven't seen you in about a week or so, but, I'd be remiss if I didn't say Happy Memorial Day. God bless you to all the service members who are no longer with us. Thank you very much for your service. So that was kind of a big theme for Monday Night Raw tonight, and I was very proud of that. I want to say a special thank you to my favorite veteran that I always memorialize on this day, and that is my grandfather who served in the Army. I believe it was actually the Army Air Corps back in World War II, fought the Nazis. Very proud of him, so rest in peace. So, Dave, how the hell are you, sir? I ain't seen you in a week.
Not doing that bad. Not doing that bad. Just rock and roll, and a lot of stuff is going good. I had a good week. You know, a lot of projects are moving forward. But, you know, I'm sorry that this show's a bit late. It's my fault. I kid you not. All morning, all yesterday, no one bugs data. Just leave data alone. Show goes off the air, gonna start podcast. They're like, you know what? Let's bring up every family issue right now. It's kind of like no one talks to you, and then you open a book, and everyone's like, let's go talk to that guy with a book. I think my son, he's a little baby son, he's a demon. And his whole purpose is to make sure I'm not productive. Because if I'm sitting here watching YouTube or Monday Night Raw doing absolutely nothing, he's the ultimate little baby. He's taking care of himself. He's like Maggie Simpson changing his own diapers. As soon as I'm like, wow, I got a deadline. I got to finish Chapter 3 by the end of the night or I'm fired. He's like, Dad, let's hang out forever. So I'm pretty sure he has it. You know how some people have gaydar? He has accomplishment nar. He's like, you know, Dad's trying to accomplish something. We need to stop that right now. And he has a gang of people that help him. So, yeah, Monday Night Raw. Win, loss, or tie. This is tough. This is a really tough call. I think it might be all over the place. Please, down in the comments, put win, loss, or tie. Pablo will be sending the top comments to us and any questions. So we like to hear. We do keep track of it on the blog. We usually wait 2 or 3 weeks to update the blog just so that we can get a lot of votes in. Man, this is tough. I'm going to say it was a tie because... No, hold on. I was going to say it was a tie. I was going to say it was a tie because, like, nothing happened. Like, it was the ultimate nothing happened show. It's like, I'm not angry, not happy, I'm just here. It's purgatory. it's just being trapped on an island of Raw. You're like, this ain't bad, this ain't good, but I did make a universal rule starting today. If your show ends with a contract signing, it's an automatic loss in my eyes. So I thought it was tie. Not even tie. There was no feeling whatsoever throughout the whole show. But contract signing to end the show, automatic loss in my eyes. And this is what I'm going to say, Booms. You might have thought it was a win. You might have thought lost, tie. You might be all over the place. I want to hear where it goes. This was going into a pay-per-view, so there's a lot more pressure on this Raw. And contract signings are absolutely horrible. You know, I'm just like, a contract signing? Yeah! I don't care. And this is what I was thinking to myself. It doesn't matter who's in the contract signing. Think of any fictional, real, dead, what two people could sign a contract to end Raw that you would give a shit about? I'm saying if they had real-life Godzilla and zombie George Washington, and it was going to be a contract signing, I would not give a crap. So that is, not only am I asking you for win, loss, or tie, and Pablo, please keep track of the comments, I am also asking what people in the whole world, fictional, real, past, dead, not born yet, maybe you want to, talk to Triple H's grandchildren, it doesn't matter. What two or more people, I don't even think you can sign the Constitution. You can't even go on a time machine, show everyone sign the Constitution, and it'd still be interesting television. Contract signings should not be televised. End of story. End of story. Booms, first I want to ask you what your thoughts of win-loss tie were. And I thought Zombie George Washington, Godzilla contract signing, still not interesting. Real-life Godzilla. Now, I ask you, Booms, is there anyone in the universe, not WWE universe, in the universe, fictional, real, it doesn't matter, is there two beings that you could see standing in the ring at the end of Raw wanting to sign a contract and that still be interesting?
Ugh, that's a tough one. No, I really can't think of any. Nothing really pops in mind. I guess maybe, like, wrestling-wise, if I was going to see, like, I don't know, Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, maybe. That's a huge maybe, but that's like if they were both in their prime, which they're not. So now, not so much. No, I just think I agree with you, Dave. I think it's horrible television. The only reason that they drug it out is because, one, it's Triple H, and two, you've got his pet project, Roman Reigns. They're trying to give it some build-up, and so that's how they wanted to end the show. I think they should have ended it, obviously with a main event, with a wrestling match. As much as I hated it, I think you could have ended the show with, wrestling-wise, you could have ended it with Sheamus versus Del Rio. I wouldn't have liked it, probably wouldn't agree with it, but I think that would have been better, more entertaining-wise, than having the Shield and Evolution sign. And, I'm looking forward to this match. I'd like to see it. In fact, this whole Raw, was just kind of like, I took the whole wind out of my own sails. I was like, okay, Raw, really sucked last week. It seems like they're starting to get their shit back together. They're building up to the pay-per-view, and it's this weekend. Fuck me.
And I'm like, but what was last month's pay-per-view?
Last month was Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules was a surprisingly good pay-per-view. I would not have thought that was going to be a good pay-per-view. I am pretty sure I'm going to say it's the same exact pay-per-view. Payback is, yeah, we had a good pay-per-view last month. Buy another one. It's the same exact thing. We are literally just stuck. Sometimes, fans complain about storylines moving too fast. Hell, I would like just the storyline to move. All right, so, Booms, I don't know if you gave your official answer. Win, loss, or tie.
My official answer will be a tie. I'm not like you. I'm not going to completely bury it on the contract signing. There was a lot more things they could do, but there was some stuff in there that made it bearable, that made it watchable. I would go, tie, leaning towards a loss more so than anything else. But you ready to break this down, kind of what you thought, what you hated, and let us know what you think. Win, loss, or tie, put it down there in the comment section. We got Big Pablo there with Sordog, SORDOG.com, taking your questions here. He's going to get it to us, so make sure you get those questions into us. So, Dave, we start out with kind of like a little bit of a cliffhanger after the Memorial Day tribute. And again, thank you, especially to the families of these service members. You're the ones who make a sacrifice too, and don't think people like us don't know that. So thank you too. Anyway, it starts out with Stephanie McMahon going to the ring. Basically they're teasing this whole, Daniel Bryan's going to have the choice. He's going to have to, relinquish the WWE World Heavyweight title. And the crowd was eating it up there in Knoxville, Tennessee, and if I believe correctly, Joey Numbers was live there, because anything in Knoxville, he's got his grubby hands all over. So, Joey, if you can see us, you can hear us, we would like a full report. But that aside, Dave, we just criticized WWE for ending it on like a talking segment, a contract signing. How'd you feel about Raw starting out on a talking segment with setting up with something that ultimately wasn't even the main payoff of the night? It was, Stephanie McMahon, I want Daniel Bryan to surrender the WWE title. He's going to do it. I'm not going to strip him of it. He's going to hand over the belts. Will he? Do you think that was a great way to start the show off tonight?
No, because, again, they're just stuck on replay. That was already established. It was already established. There's a line that Triple H uses. He's like, oh, hurry up, come down to the ring. TV time is valuable. No shit, Triple H. Learn that shit yourself. You're not on YouTube. This is a national, worldwide show.
Yeah.
Airtime is valuable.
Exactly. And it's funny you should mention that because, immediately after they told Brad Maddox to come to the ring, they asked him, about the whole debacle last week in England. Maddox said he didn't have anything to do. He had no choice. Well, they said they had no choice, so they brought out Kane. They beat up Brad Maddox. They fired him. And by the way, he trended, I don't know about Twitter, but I know he trended on Facebook. I don't know why I mentioned that. I just figured it was worth mentioning. Brad Maddox, there was the number 3 top talked about whatever stories on Facebook. Brad Maddox fired as the GM of Raw. So we brought that up. And I kind of like that aspect of, 1, there was accountability. 2, it was a god-awful show. I don't think anybody would want to revisit it. But it made the whole continuity thing come into play. This just wasn't supposed to be this, even though it was basically a shitty house show on TV. They played back into it. There were questions, there were ramifications for it.
Hold on, not so fast, my fellow friend. I want to say this is worse than a house show. A house show, at least you get to watch wrestling. At least you get to watch matches. At least you get to watch young guys busting their ass. This was actually worse than a house show. All right, go on.
Anyway, Kane came out, beat up Brad Maddox. Again, Stephanie and Triple H fired Maddox and then walked out. I just thought that, it was kind of pointless, but I like the fact that they addressed everything that, we had this plan to take out, Roman Reigns, or not Roman Reigns, but Seth Rollins, and you screwed that up, and why? And, well, you know what? There's the penalty for it. It really got them. I think that really, reinforced them as bad guys. So, not great, but okay. That's what I'll say. Ready to get into the first match of the night. We started out with Rob Van Dam versus Cesaro. They're hyping up. You're going to have Rob Van Dam. He is going to challenge Bad News Barrett for the Intercontinental title at Payback. Bad News Barrett came down to give some color commentary, along with the trio of JBL, Jerry Lawler, and Michael Cole. The match itself was nothing special, but I thought it was a good, as far as an opening segment goes, I was like, okay, this is a good first match. I haven't been so high on Rob I just made a joke right there, and I wasn't even trying. I was going to say, I haven't been high on Rob Van Dam in quite a while. Ho-ho! Okay. I haven't been high on Rob Van Dam because I'm high on a little thing called life, thank you very much, and glue. And, Cesaro absolutely red hot. The King of Swing, the Swiss Superman, whatever you want to call him. Absolutely amazing. They had, I thought it was a pretty decent match. It went for almost 10 minutes, which is something I like to see that Raw has really started to do as of late. They've really been opening up with longer matches. They're not absolutely just main event caliber matches, but they're passable matches. They come out, and it's funny. Even a match on its own, RVD, Cesaro, it's okay, but they gave it time. They let it flesh out. And then, of course, you had Cesaro get the win. And immediately they ruined it because they had Sheamus come out, and he delivered the bro kick to Cesaro. There was just a lot of interference. You had Bad News Barrett try to interfere, to which Van Dam was able to fend off every time. So I think if they just would have kept it to the in-ring action, it would have been fine. But I don't know what it is about WWE and hating clean finishes. I have no idea. Is there some kind of rule that they're only allowed so many clean finishes per show or per week or per month? Because very rarely are they having like these clean finishes, especially with these matches that somewhat mean something. If it's squash matches, which we'll get to later in the show, they have no problem. But when it just gets to these regular matches, it's like they're just scared to pull the trigger. But Dave, did you think it was a decent opening segment? I mean, what were your thoughts on the opener?
I like the opening segment for many reasons. It reminds me of very old school WCW booking. Older fans will know what I'm talking about, where it was a match that was two guys going against each other, but they were really advertising two other matches. WCW was really, really good and famous about that in its early days. But I enjoyed it storyline-wise. I thought it was a great opening match. I think, as far as the clean finish thing goes, I think the only reason they do that, one, is it's pay-per-view. It's building up for a pay-per-view. They don't want anyone to lose. But two, they just don't really know how to tell a good story. The story is the champion is untouchable, either heel or face, and the guy coming up can't lose. And I always found it made me very angry, especially when it happened to Umaga and others. You can have it where, let's say Cesaro beats Rob Van Dam clean, and Rob Van Dam wins the title. Well, then you're like, well, right before you won the title, this guy beat you clean. I want to see that feud. But they never book it like that. They always book it where, oh, these guys are invincible, you got to watch them on paper. It's just, they're stuck to their formula. And you know what? I know I bash WWE Creative a lot, but why bother having writers? If you're going to do the same formula over and over and over again, why bother having writers? I know it feels good because, this guy wrote Sammy the Spiffy Barg. Yeah, that's a real show. Sammy the Biffy Barg on Nickelodeon. And you're like, wow, I'm rubbing elbows with a guy who was an intern at Nickelodeon. Ha 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 ha, we're a real entertainment company. But the reality is you have a formula and you're not going to break it. So really, you're just torturing that poor bastard who left Nickelodeon. Yeah, it's their formula. I enjoyed it a lot because it means these feuds mean something. They built up to something in the pay-per-view, and the mid-title means something.
That's another thing I was going to bring up. That's something we've definitely criticized WWE for recently, or at least over the past couple of years, that, it's like the mid-card means absolutely nothing. The Intercontinental title, the U.S. title, they're absolute jokes, but it seems like, or at least for this moment in time, they're actually taking, particularly the Intercontinental title, seriously. Now, granted, this probably only going to last for maybe a month or two, but I will give them props for at least making it appear that they give a damn about the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. So, I hate to say this because it's so fucking asshole-ish, but it was a good opener for WWE. I'm sure if this was on another program, I'd be like, this sucks. But for WWE, you know what? It's kind of like, I used to be a teacher. It's kind of like having that really horrible kid and he gets a C, but then the great kid gets a B. Well, you're so happy about the horrible kid getting a C. You're not so thrilled about the smart kid getting a B. So that's what it is. It's a dumb kid in class getting a C. You're like, good job, Bobby. Good job, WWE. Everyone, give it up. I thought he was going to be a failure at life, but he got a C on his test, and it only goes uphill from here. That's what it is,
I think that's didn't your teacher say that about you in middle school?
No, my teacher said you should go on the front line and die. And I said, I'll do my best.
You couldn't even do that correctly, Dave. That's all you did. One job, Dave. One job, and you couldn't even do that.
No, New Jersey, there was like 3 good teachers the whole time I was there. The rest were like the worst teachers ever. Like you watch some South Park, like Mr. Garrison. No, Mr. Garrison would be Teacher of the Year in New Jersey. Except, of course, Miss Cribs. You got to give up Miss Cribs. 6th grade Miss Cribs, bam, best teacher in the world. I know you think you have the best teacher, but Miss Cribs, New Jersey, best damn teacher in the business today. I hope she's still alive. I'm really old. My 6th grade teacher probably might not be there.
This is getting off track in our area here.
Yeah, we get off track? What? Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, this is ADD AM now. Actually, the second match here, definitely not a fan of here. You had Summer Rae versus Ava Marie. This was somewhat of a return match. The seeds were planted over in SmackDown. There was a tag match. It was Nikki Bella and Ava Marie teaming up against the Funkadactyls. Summer Rae was the referee for that match. She intentionally threw the match in favor of the Funkadactyls, did a fast count on Ava Marie when she got pinned. So this was a return. Remember that they're incorporating now. Oh dear God, have mercy on our souls. They were incorporating the Total Divas reality show into their storylines now. So shit that they got. Remember when they got fucking pissed off at Ava Marie around March, maybe early April. It's just now coming out in the ring. So now we had to watch Summer Rae versus Ava Marie. This match really didn't even get a start because you had Fandango and Layla come out. This pissed off Summer Rae. Ava gave her a schoolgirl from behind. And by the way, I found out I've learned something new about Summer Rae. She is very, very flexible because when she got pinned with that schoolgirl, just watch it. Guys, just trust me. Just watch it again. Just don't cut out the fucking sound. Don't even worry about that. Her ankles were behind her head, a position I'm pretty sure she's familiar with. Oh, damn it, I'm going to hell for that one. But she's very flexible. Anyway, she lost. There was a lot of kissing between Fandango and Layla, and I'm just like, okay, what the hell just happened? Could somebody please explain? No, seriously, somebody please explain to me what the hell happened, because technically both Summer Rae, Fandango, and Layla are all bad guys. And I'm just going by the law. Well, it's like the laws of physics. There's like the laws of professional wrestling. You never ever, or very rarely, do you want to have heel-on-heel action. And this is one of those cases where they have it, and it's just like, who the hell do I pull for? I really don't give a damn, because you've made me hate both of these people. You don't want me to like Summer Rae because you portrayed her as a bitch on Total Divas, who backstabs everybody, who's conniving. And then you have, Layla. She's, remember, she turned on Caitlyn and then left and came back, and now she stole Fandango, and Fandango was a douchebag. And I just made my head fucking hurt by trying to explain this, because it makes even less sense now that I've said it out loud. I don't, Dave, please help me make sense of this. I think I need to wrap my head in duct tape so my head does not explode with me trying to break this down.
It's just an infomercial, bro. That's all it is. It's not. You just got to ignore it. You really just have to ignore it. The thing is, I don't really pay attention, but you're telling me the story. I just want to say there's one thing I want to get. So they have a wrestling match, like maybe 6 months ago. Something goes wrong, and on Total Divas they argue about it. But then they air it, and then now they're angry at each other. I just picture if this was real life and you're living in this universe. They're like, you know what? I'm not really that. Oh my God! Now I remember. Like she's watching E, and she's like, I'm having a great day. It's like, oh, my show is on. Son of a bitch! Now I remember. Let me take this to the ring, And I thought I had anger issues, but this is just ridiculous. It's really, really just an infomercial. And, let's just skip the infomercial. Let's get to some comments. On Facebook, this is a question we got, earlier in the day. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments below, and we'll try to get to them. All right, so this is from Jason Rex of Facebook. He says, the way Triple H is running stuff, do you think Randy Orton would have a job if he wasn't Triple H's buddy? So he's basically saying, if Randy Orton walked into NXT today, would he be a main eventer and would he have a job? And he's hinting at he wouldn't. What's your call?
Well, here's the question: Is he Randy Orton? Is he Cowboy Bob Orton's son, or is he, I don't know, just John Smith, the most unoriginal name ever I know? But he comes in there not related to any wrestlers. So which is it? Is he Randy Orton, the son of Cowboy Bob Orton Jr., the grandson of Bob Orton, or is he just John Smith, the guy who sat groceries at the Winn-Dixie in St. Louis, Missouri?
I imagine he still has his dad in this scenario, but you can go either way. You can answer both. He still has his dad, and he doesn't have his dad. Randy Orton walks in right now under Triple H's tutelage. Is he a main eventer?
If he still has his dad, then yeah, I can see them wanting to push a third-generation superstar like they did when he first debuted. If not, no, he's fucking gone. They're not going to deal with this fucking bullshit because, I mean, Kevin Kelly did interviews that they had it was him, like the second most person they ever had problems with. The first was Brian Christopher, Jerry Lawler's son. They had a lot of problems with him, and all the stories he told was, he was just fucking immature. He was a fucking dickhead about everything. And it was just one of those, okay, well, if we give him some more time to mature, he'll be fine. And they just kept saying that and kept saying that and kept saying that. If he was to come up now and not be the son of Cowboy Bob Orton Jr., they would not put up with this bullshit. I mean, look what the fuck they did with Chris Hero. He goes in there. He's actually really good. He can cut promos. He can wrestle. But they're like, hey, you really need to get in shape. You need to get in this particular look we want. He skipped some workouts. They fired his ass. You think with a fucking attitude problem now, going up through NXT now, would they keep him? Hell no.
Yeah, and my whole thing is where I hit a home run with this is, Triple H has this system. He's following the system. You know who doesn't make it in today's WWE? Not even a fucking chance. His attitude, being small, skill level, never makes it into the WWE. In Triple H's WWE / Vince McMahon, maybe he doesn't even make it if WCW goes out of business. Triple H's hero. Triple H's hero doesn't make it. And I'm talking about HBK. If HBK is a rookie and walks on NXT today with his attitude, without having his dad, without having connections, if HBK walks into NXT, he doesn't last 6 months. And that's what's wrong with WWE.
Okay.
There's no way HBK lasts. You're telling me HBK gets a gig now?
Well, I would say, does he have the drug problem or not? Because if he has the drug problem, I agree with you. But if he's just clean and sober, I think he's got a shot.
I don't care if it's pre-finding Jesus and I am banging people left and right and screwing over everyone, he gets cut. I don't even care if it's I found Jesus and I'm trying to be a good guy, HBK. I'm saying it doesn't matter what he does. He's not making WWE today. He's not, because he's going to have an attitude. He's going to bring up stuff. He's going to have some. Best case scenario, he's Dolph Ziggler, and at least Dolph Ziggler is good looking. All right, one last comment, and then we're going to go back. Pablo keeps sending them. Brianna Jackson says tonight's a loss. It's a Memorial Day show and the Raw before pay-per-view. Should have been better. Plus, I don't think they care about Payback as much because they don't care about Chicago as much as they did when CM Punk was there. Wonder why Payback is in Chicago 2 years in a row. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, because there's a part of me that's like, you know what? That is so immature. There's no way they're like that. But no, WWE really is like that. So yeah, who knows? I would love to tell her, no, WWE is not that much immature. They're a publicly traded company. There's no way they'd hold a grudge like that. No. They're immature. They would. All right, and we'll get to Player Dies comments a little bit later. All right, Booms, you ready to get back on track? Send us some comments, and we'll keep it coming.
Our hero Player Dies, thank you very much. We got to get the train back on the tracks here. Speaking of attitude, you had Cody Rhodes and Goldust bust in, so they weren't booked on the show last week. They're not booked this week, and they want an open challenge. That was just pretty much accepted by Randy Orton and Batista. I love it how he called him, Cody, who's really finding his stride right now, called Batista the skinny jeans sellout and arcade blows. Oh my God, sorry, I got a little kick out of that. That was funny. But anyway, next we go to obviously quite the worst segment of the fucking night. This should have been on SmackDown, if that, maybe main event. I cannot believe I'm about to say this out loud. Drew McIntyre versus El Torito. The highlight of this match was not the fact that a little person was wrestling a member of 3MB, or 3.5 Man band now. You know, that wasn't the issue. No, in this growing saga, it's the best of 500 series apparently. They tore off, actually Hornswoggle ripped off El Torito's tail, and then everybody started saying, "Oh my!" WWE became Chikara right there for that like 5 fucking
Watch your
minutes.
dirty friggin' mouth.
They
Don't
became
insult
Chikara.
like that. Don't insult Chikara like that. May Chikara rest in peace, rise from the ashes. Who knows what Chikara's doing? But no, I will not let you badmouth Chikara saying this was like Chikara. This was like a bag of shit on fire that you step on.
They ripped off his tail. El Torito grabbed his ass and ran around the ring. Then they went back to the training room where El Torito is in pain. Los Matadores are like, "Oh my God!" The trainer's like, "Okay, I'm not a veterinarian. I don't know how to take care of this. Okay, we're gonna have to." And he just shoves his tail right back up on his ass, and I'm just like, "What in the fuck am I watching?" This is like, this was embarrassing. This was almost 3 minutes of my life gone, Dave, and I want them back. I want those 3 minutes back, Dave.
All right, well, we'll see what we can do. We'll call the Time Lord and see if you can get those 3 minutes back. But my whole thing is, this would have been good for Saturday Morning Slam. But once again, it's bad storytelling, bad booking, hiding behind kids. I said this on Facebook, but I want to repeat it on the show. WWE's biggest problem is they're not satisfying the fans they have. They want to satisfy the fans they don't have. No kid with halfway decent parent is up at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 8-ish. So no, who's staying up that late? You got school tomorrow. Do your damn homework. Get to bed. So to me, it's just their demographic is teen to nerd. That is their demographic, and that's what they're most embarrassed by. They should be trying to get video game sponsors. They should be trying to get PlayStation 4 sponsors. That's what they should be getting. Doritos, Monster Energy drink, stuff like that. Even a beer. What was the next segment? Like they're like, "Oh, ha, get it, kids. All right, make sure to buy Hair Club for Men." It's just, it doesn't fit in. And if you are a kid's product, if you are a kid's product, hear me out. If you are a kid's product, then why didn't Saturday Morning Slam fail miserably? You're not a kid's product. You're a bad politician hiding behind children. And you know what? One person, I want to apologize for being hypocritical in the past. I did enjoy this feud. I did like how they did the special effects. I did like how JBL was into it. But I came to say, I would never do that, but I'm like, I get it. They're using special effects to make this feud look amazing. They're trying to put it over on commentary. It looks amazing. But as we find out later, when you put over this, when you try to put over a real storyline like the Jerry King Lawler thing, you can't take them seriously. And that's the problem. That is the problem. You can't be like, "Oh my God, he lost his tail," and we're like, they're taking it seriously. "Someone save Jerry King Lawler! Help me, Mario!" And you can't be like, it ruins the mood. So, yeah.
I want to bring up something here from the comments. This is from Wrestling Rantin'. He actually brought up a very good point about something we mentioned earlier. He's saying that the Intercontinental title is getting pushed, probably now more so because and he's right, there is no active WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Daniel Bryan's going to be on the shelf for at least a month. I'm thinking he's going to be on the shelf for closer to 2. So, maybe for right now, until they can get this situated, they're going to push the Intercontinental title. I believe that's what he's saying, and I think that's an excellent point.
Yeah, and it might help them in the long run, because if the IC and the U.S. title means something,
yeah, I know.
That would be great.
I don't think it degrades anything. Look at Wrestle Kingdom earlier this year. The Intercontinental title match closed out the show. So, just look at what New Japan did, and it's not hurting them one bit. So I figured WWE, why not let that be your heavyweight title for right now until you can get Daniel Bryan back in the ring, and You know, hey, who knows? Maybe you can build your Intercontinental title and build up some of your lower card guys in the process. I think it's a win-win.
And before we go on to the next match or the next comment, I just want to say, Wrestling Renton does a Raw review, and he does other shows on his YouTube, but he uses, like, it's really short, maybe 10, 20 minutes long, and he puts in graphics and photos, and, you know, we don't agree on everything, but he puts a lot of hard work into it. Me and Booms, we just show up, and we're like, hey, let's talk. He puts a lot of work into it. So, you know, I'd like to see him and another member of the Internet Infantry get more views. So he'll probably have it up within 24 to 48 hours. No pressure. Wrestling Renton's like, I hate you. But no, go check out his channel. He puts on. And know what's cool about Wrestling Renton? There's so many people on YouTube that are just, oh, your fucking show sucks. Go check out my show. And he never did that. He always had class. And you know what? He deserves a lot more views than we do. I mean, don't leave us. Don't leave us. We love you. But go check out his stuff, too, because, you know, he puts in, like, video clips and photos and all that, and he puts a lot of hard work in. So go support those that support us. Internet Infantry, old school YouTube. YouTubers helping out other YouTubers. But, hey, thanks for the comment, and please go check out his stuff. All right. You ready? You want to go comments, or you want to go back on track?
Let's get back on track here. We got to get back here. Next was the Bray Wyatt-John Cena confrontation. They billed it as Bray Wyatt was going to address the C-Nation. He talked about how, you know, saying he's got the whole world in his hands, and then he talked about how, you know, that basically John Cena was like a snake and he was injecting poison, and Bray Wyatt was the anti-venom. And then he tried to get Jerry Lawler to come in the ring. And Jerry Lawler did what I think any normal, rational human being would do. He said, no, I'm not going in there. And, of course, Bray Wyatt sends Rowan Harper out. JBL tries to, you know, help out. He winds up getting a lariat for his trouble. Cole just sits there like a fucking bitch. They drag Lawler into the ring. You know, they're going to rough him up. They're about to hit him with Sister Abigail. Then, boom, out comes Super Cena to make the save. It's looking like they're about to get the upper hand on Cena and give Jerry Lawler's Sister Abigail. Boom, out come the Usos. They clear house, and then, you know, and then what I loved about, I guess what I kind of liked about this one was the fact that, you know, people did what normal people would do in these situations. And then we saw Cena, when he drops the fucking comedy act, he's somewhat bearable. Because he said, you know, that Wyatt has crossed a lot of lines, and he says, justice, you know, it's not about winning. It's not about losing. Thank God he's finally acknowledging something like that. And he says, you know, justice may be blind, but for you, you know, payback will be a bitch. And I'm like, wow. And Bray was not impressed, and they all walked out. Now, this one was kind of a mixed bag. I did like some things about it, and I didn't like some other things about it. But overall, I think it came over quite well. I mean, you finally saw Bray Wyatt finally come across as a heel. Because, I mean, there he is. I mean, he's, you know, for some reason decided to pick on poor old Jerry Lawler, which kind of didn't make sense, but maybe in his own mind, and I think that was the whole point, was because, oh, you're promoting John Cena. You're part of the problem. Won't you come in here and defend that? Well, when he didn't want to go, he sent his lackeys out there to get him. JBL tried to help. They beat him up. They were about to beat up a 60-some-odd-year-old man right there in the ring. John Cena comes in. They get the better, you know, they cheat. They get a 3-on-1 advantage, and they beat him up. Well, then out come the Usos. They even up the odds, and as soon as the odds are even, boom, they all bail out like bad guys. I mean, so, and plus you had John Cena taking the situation seriously. You know, you saw him mad, and I'm like, okay, this is a little bit better. I think it was odd because you immediately followed up like the god awful El Torito. Oh my God, they yanked off his tail with, holy shit, it just got real. So I just think it was kind of give and take there, but for the most part, I think it worked. Some people probably disagree with me, but I feel like that segment for the most part worked. Could have been done a little bit better, yes, but like I said, for the most part, it worked.
Yeah, this is the perfect segment. I used to do a column back in the day for a magazine, and also a little bit on Kocosports. But then I just got into podcasting. When you write for a living, you kind of get tired of writing online. You're like, I'll just turn on a webcam and tell you how I feel. Screw spell check. But I thought this was a perfect example of the column, good, bad, ugly. There was some good things about this, some bad things, and ugly. And one thing I want to say is the El Torito thing, funny, but it really took away from this segment. Because JBL was being over-the-top, sarcastic, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then he's being over-the-top, not sarcastic, but over-the-top dramatic to try to have effect, and it sounds exactly the same. So, back-to-back segments, El Torito losing his tail is almost as bad as Jerry the King Lawler getting beat up by the Shield. So I thought that was horrible. I thought the person who was the most gold, besides, being put in a bad position, was JBL. I thought JBL, he did the, oh my God, don't do that, King, I'm concerned. Oh, I'm a heel. Oh, I got to do something. His whole, I'm a heel, but I'm a face, but I got to help my buddy. This is wrong. That whole thing I just thought was the best part of the segment. I thought JBL was the best part. And the sad part is when JBL got hurt, I was like, oh, please, I love JBL. Please have him come back. And when Lawler was up, I was like, you know what? I love you, Jerry the King Lawler, but it's time to step down and be a manager. It's time to step down and be a manager. But, the big thing I got out of this was, remember NBC? I don't know if it's all on NBC. I'm pretty sure it was on NBC. Friends? Remember Chandler and all those? Dude, this was like the opposite of that. This is called Bad Friends. Let's look at the list of bad friends. Michael Cole. Okay? He goes off. I love Jerry the King Lawler. Like, all right, I know it's scary sometimes, but sometimes you have to get the shit kicked out of you. Sometimes you have to step up and get your ass whooped for your friends. That's what real friends do. I know it sounds crazy because we live in a world of don't fight, and we always have to win, but sometimes your boy will run his mouth, and you'll be like, son of a bitch, gonna have to get my ass kicked by Floyd Mayweather Jr. in a fast food restaurant in Las Vegas. But no, sometimes you just have to go get your ass whooped. And Cole, that was one of those times. So Cole's bad friends. Now, the bad friends do not end. You have John Cena. Obviously, this was big John Cena. What was John Cena doing? And then, we always get this huge complaint, but it looked really bad this time. The big complaint about pro wrestling and WWE of, oh, I got to go save that guy, oh, I got to go run out there, is the music. Sometimes it's like, oh, it feels too phony. But this was the ultimate feels phony. You're like, well, what is he doing? Wait in the back? Like, I'd love to save Jerry King Lawler, but can you load my song? Oh, yeah, it's under dun 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 dun. Yeah, it's the same one as Adam Cole's music. That was for you, player guys. That joke was just for you. But, so people, so, like, it was just horrible. And then, bad friend number 2, the Usos. What were the Usos doing? Waiting for their music? Be like, John, I'll be there in a second. We just got to get our face paint on. And it's just bad friend after bad friend after bad friends. And then, what happened to the Shield? I thought the Shield was faces, and they were supposed to be for injustice. There was a lot of injustices. What were the Shield doing? They're like, oh, we got to work out to throw those chairs outside the ring. So I'm going to say NBC, new WWE Network pilot, bad friends. Just bad friends, set it up. Because let me tell you, if I had friends like Cole, Cena, no, let's be real. Let's break this down. Now let's use a phrase the kids like to use. Real talk. Real talk. If you have friends like John Cena, Usos, Michael Cole, and the Shield, you need a new set of friends. All right? I don't want to be the old man saying your friends are bad, but I am being an old man that says if that's your friends. What were they doing? What were they doing backstage? It just looked so hokey, so bad. And remember when the Usos used to be cool? That's what happens, kids. You hang out with a John Cena too long, you're not cool anymore. But yeah, this whole segment was brought to you by the WWE Network's newest spinoff, Bad Friends. Watch it on E. But they were just horrible. What were they doing? What were they possibly doing? Everyone. I know Michael Cole's a real bitch in real life. But, at least his character could take a punch. Don't believe Michael Cole's a bitch? Please watch this week's SmackDown, last week's SmackDown Uncut. Just go watch the uncut version. If you thought, wow, you know what, Michael Cole's maybe not a bitch, yeah, watch the uncut version. Bitch, bro. Fucking bitch. I hope everyone feels good. I hope it feels good. Wash yourself with it. You have no pride. So yeah, I'd like to just pitch an idea. Bad friends.
Bad friends, I like that.
All right, questions or next match? Well, let's not be bad friends. Let's get some questions. Come on,
okay.
We can't be bad friends. All right. Player dies. We will answer your comment, but that's a long comment, so we are going to save it for Stump the Idiot. And someone else also asked, Hook and Shoot asked, when will you guys do another Stump the Idiot? You know what, Booms? When are we doing another Stump the Idiot? Tomorrow? Next day? Within 48 hours?
Within the next 48 hours. Yeah, I think we can.
Next 48 hours. Player dies. Your long ass comment / question. Number 1 on top. So I think that's called a tease. We are bad friends. I'm sorry, Player Dies. I would definitely not. Player Dies, if you were getting your ass whipped by the Shield, I would get my ass kicked with you out playing my song first. All right? So you have to put that in consideration. All right, Mike Ashman. WWE is simply lost, and this week, again, is a loss. Some points during the show, I thought the creative team is retarded for 90% of the product on screen. No wonder why investors want to pull the plug. In a 3-hour show, only good points. Bray Wyatt segment, Alicia Fox turned up, and Evolution vs. Shield to end the show. Overall, WWE is lame. And I don't even think, no offense, Mike Ashman, you're my homeboy, you're part of the internet infantry, but yeah, I don't even know if those are good points. We'll get to that more. All right, question from Mike Ashman. Do you feel now is the time for King of the Ring to save the World Championship picture? You know what? Thank you for that question. Can I take it first? I'll read the rest of the comment. Can I take it first? I love King of the Ring more than a man should. You know when the right time for King of the Ring is? Right now, every time. You send me this question 3 weeks from now, and you're going to be like, you know what? No one's the right time for King of the Ring? Right now. You sent it 6 years ago. You know when the right time for King of the Ring? I love King of the Ring. There. Booms, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I do miss that. I miss it when it was its own pay-per-view. Then they broke it down to where you had to qualify for it. Then they had like the finals matches. I think it was like the last 2 or 3 matches in the King of the Ring tournament on pay-per-view. Then it became its own Raw theme, and then now it's just kind of disappeared. So, yeah, I think that's something worth bringing back, and that's something WWE kind of innovated. So I think it's on the shelf, or at least it's on the list of possibilities to be brought back.
All right, and they fulfilled the prophecy that predicted Bryan being a mid-card champion. How do you go forward to book this injury being worked into storyline? We got this question a lot. We also got this question, hold on, boom, from Facebook. We also got it from Brandon. So, yeah, we got this question a lot. The problem that I have with the injury angle and WWE and the titles is the WrestleMania honeymoon is over, and I don't give a shit. As a fan saying, you know, like someone asked, Brandon asked me, like, do you think he's gonna give up the title? To be honest with you, I don't give a shit. And that's a problem. I think they, you know, he had a lot of good luck, bad luck. His life has been, I'm talking about Daniel Bryan, his life has been the biggest roller coaster ever. I don't think you could have that many highs and lows. I mean, I just feel bad. I don't know if I feel bad. Just, wow, that's a crazy ride of highs and lows. But yeah, I think they should book him better. Yeah, how would I book this injury being worked out into the storyline? King of the Ring always wins me over. But I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, I would want to know how much time he has. If it's legit 3 pay-per-views, if it's 3 pay-per-views, if the injury's more than 3 pay-per-views long, I'd have a King of the Ring or a tournament or have him drop the titles. But if he's going to be back within 3 pay-per-views, just keep this garbage storyline up and make the IC and US title mean more. Booms, you agree, disagree, or do you have anything to add?
No, I don't really have anything to add. I mean, I kind of agree with that.
All right. You want to go back on track, or do you want to get one more from Mike Ashman?
Well, let's get one more out of the way.
All right. Mike Ashman's bringing it. Mike Ashman, you're the MVP of the night. All right? 3 hours of garbage. Boom. Chill out. Don't disrespect Chikara. Booms. I think you have... Booms, would you like to take this moment to respond to our hatred of you? I turned on you again. Like, I'm so quick to turn on you. You're my brother, Booms, and I'll take a punch in the face when the Shield beats you up, I assure you. But I will not stand by when you badmouth Jakara. All right, let's read the rest of this. You get your statement prepared.
Disappear in the bush. Yeah, I know.
You get your statement prepared, and I'll finish reading this. We promise, Boo Boo, we'll make an announcement about his, I don't know. You come up with a speech right now. Get the pen and paper. Start writing. No way in hell would Jakara do a shit show like this. That's what I'm saying, Ashman. Jakara just had a brilliant return show. See, I didn't know that. Where were you? Where were you on that one, Flair Dies? Where were you on James Legend, my indie connections? Just had a brilliant show with Eddie Kingston versus Icarus for the Grand Slam Championship and King of Trios 6-man tag tourney. Oh my God, I have to go to Smart Mark video right now. 2014 has been announced. After this fuckery on Raw, I immediately got Evolve, New Japan at Yokohama. Yes, New Japan at Yokohama. You might be able to watch that on Kocosports through Magic. And the latest Jakara show to save pro wrestling credibility for today. Yeah. But a matter of fact, we need to talk New Japan. We'll save that for Stump the Idiot. All right, Booms, do you have your statement? Are you prepared to face the Internet Infantry's firing line? You better bring this home and apologize to Jakara and the Internet Infantry. The stage is yours, sir.
Fuck you. No, seriously. That's a sure beat to South Park there. No, the reason I just said it reminded me of Chikara is because it was something so goofy, but yet everybody in the ring, and particularly the commentary team, was selling it. It reminds me when the Ice Cream Brothers, I think they were wrestling the Chivas, I believe, and they got back body, I think it was El Hijo de Ice Cream, got back body dropped onto his own sprinkles, and they treated it like he was on thumbtacks. So that's kind of what that reminded me of. So that's why I brought that up. So that was my Chikara reference. That's how I came up with that.
2 points. All right, 2 points. 2 points. 1, James Legend is crying right now. He's just crying. He doesn't even know why. He's probably not watching the show, and James Legend is crying. Like, he's probably in a movie theater right now watching X-Men or Godzilla crying. He's like, I don't even know why I'm crying. And second, I didn't hear an apology there. I heard an explanation. Where's the apology?
I'm a politician, sir. I don't apologize. I only shift blame.
Ooh. All right, let's get back on track. Jakara, I want to apologize on behalf of the Internet Infantry and let you know that Boom Boom does not represent all of the infantry, just his stupid backwater ways. He grew up in Alabama. We can forgive him. I'm sorry to Alabama. That inside joke just got more heat on me. All right, let's move forward.
Well, you're rude. You're from New Jersey. You're rude. You don't know any better. You're never taught any better.
All right, focus. What's next?
Next here, you had the tag match that was challenged for earlier. You had Randy Orton and Batista teaming up to take on the Rhodes Brothers. Remember, there's supposed to be a little special segment, and I will say this. Cody Rhodes was the MVP of this match. He made Randy Orton look like a fucking $1 million the way he sold those fucking RKOs. He took the first pin. He took a pinfall. Then the ring announcer just went out and said, I've just been informed that this was a special elimination match, so now it's going to be Goldust versus Batista and Randy Orton in a no-holds-barred match. They beat the crap out of them, and they got the pin for the win.
So, you know what? I don't know why. I just feel so bad for the Rhodes Brothers. It's just, man, has anyone's value dropped? I mean, can you think of anyone's value that's dropped? Vince McMahon's stock prices look good compared to where the Rhodes Brothers are.
I could think of a couple. Actually, about 2 or 3. Actually more. At least 3, and 2 of them are in the show a little bit later.
Yeah, I actually feel really bad for the Rhodes Brothers because they're trying to feud them and still be a tag team. It's just they should have had they were saving them, for like SummerSlam or that, but it's over. No one gives a shit anymore. You fucking ruined them. You ruined a WrestleMania moment for what? This is the feud you ruined a WrestleMania moment for? I don't know. I was just disappointed. I guess in one word, heartbroken. It's just, it is what it is. All right. You want to add anything, or you just want to go to the next match?
Now, let's go to the next one. Next, we saw the Raw debut of Bo Dallas. He defeated Sin Cara. I really like this. I like how he sold everything. Basically, it's John Cena done right, is what Bo Dallas is. He's a bad guy who thinks he's a good guy, and he plays his character quite well. So I'm definitely going to give props to the Rotunda brothers. Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt learned very well. I mean, hell, they're the sons of Captain Mike Rotundo. Absolutely amazing at what they do. He got it with that tornado DDT, or his version of the tornado DDT. He does a victory lap around. He even went back in the ring and shook the hand and gave a little man hug to Sin Cara. I was thoroughly entertained. He is one guy, since he's re-debuted with the new Bo Leave gimmick, I think things are going to be okay. I think the future's bright for Bo Dallas.
Yeah, I absolutely love him. The only thing I worry about is that NXT to WWE jump is too big of a jump, and I hope other people catch on, because I was going on Facebook thing, and they're like, wow, who is this guy? He's not Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm like, no, he's not supposed to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. I said it a million times, he's Stephen Colbert of John Cena. I am a believer, and I hope he takes off, just because I just think there's so much money with him just being a feud with John Cena. Like, if John Cena can get past the Wyatts, or let me rephrase it, if the Wyatts can get past John Cena, and if you're going to have a feud with someone that matches up, you're already building up to the Wyatts are the ones who tricked the fans. Not John Cena's 10 years of bad booking and promos, but it was the Wyatts who are tricking the fans. Well, you leave that feud, and then you have the Bo Dallas guy. Oh, man. I just think there's money, and it's weird. I never thought there'd be money in John Cena. And granted, he'll probably jack it up, but it would be great just to see. Because my whole thing is, I just think it's going to take off. You just have John Cena be John Cena, and then you have the Stephen Colbert-style John Cena, Bo Dallas, and, dude, people are going to just love it. People are going to go absolutely crazy, and there's money in it. WWE, you know what? If WWE messes up Bo Dallas versus John Cena, it's really officially time to let John Cena retire, because you got nothing for the guy. There's no way you can mess up this feud. I'm a huge fan of Bo Dallas. I am a believer, and I just absolutely love it. And I love JBL putting him over. I thought that was missing in the NXT. I think JBL should have put him over more, but I absolutely love it. So, yeah, matter of fact, this might have been the win of the show. This was my favorite segment, favorite match. It wasn't a 5-star match, I assure you, but I enjoyed it. Remember when we used to enjoy pro wrestling? Bo Dallas brought that back. I really, we shit on wrestling a lot, but, I enjoyed it. It was not a great wrestling match. You're not gonna, because people are like, I already see in Facebook, it's not Okada. Of course it's not Okada. But for WWE standards, this is as best entertainment it's going to get, and I just hope it grows. I hope if something takes off, I hope it's Bo Dallas. All right, I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm actually looking forward to see what they do with him and what they do with his character. Next segment here was kind of the confrontation between Daniel Bryan and Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie thinking she's going to get the belt handed over. Daniel Bryan making some good points, going, oh, yeah, I just want to hand over the title and go through this all over again. No, I'm not going to hand it over. I'm not going to throw this back in the face of the people who supported me, which is great. It makes sense. He acknowledges the fans. But Stephanie's rebuttal was that since Brie pushed her a couple of weeks ago, that now she's considering taking legal actions, against Brie and having her fired. So now he's got until Payback, because that's totally how it fucking works in the real world, to make a decision. Either he hands over the belt or his wife gets fired. So Dave, I mean, obviously we know where this is going, but how do you think, if you're writing this, how do you have Daniel Bryan squirm his way out of it?
You know what? I don't know if you do. And it depends on how long he's going to be gone. Maybe just give up the belt so that at least the storyline will be over, at least so they can do it. Because my whole thing is, if this is his championship run, and granted, a lot of people, I think Wrestling Ranton mentioned this in the comments, and other people have mentioned that he's not a mid-card champ. But, is there a lot of bad luck? Yeah. But minus his bad luck, his main feud was with Kane. If that's not a garbage fucking feud, I don't know what is. And it's almost like it's fucking painful. Just give the titles up so we can have some fucking garbage champion, and when you come back, hopefully people will forget about this. Did he have a lot of bad luck? Maybe there was big plans in the horizon. Maybe stuff went wrong. But, he's had one hell of an emotional roller coaster, and you can't blame WWE for that. I agree with that. You can't. His life is completely crazy. Hurt neck, father passed away, getting married, winning the title. So many highs and lows. What a crazy life for that guy in the last year. But you can help him with the feud. It was fucking Kane. It was Kane. That's what you come out of. Anyone would have been better than Kane. And I'm dead serious. Challenge, and I talk on my ass sometimes and think about it, but I can't think of maybe Great Khali. Who would have been a worse feud than Kane? Maybe Great Khali. There's not many people on the roster. I'm not knocking Kane, but beat Kane like 800 fucking times up to the road to WrestleMania. He's like, you know what? This feud's not over. Yes, it is. The 27 times you beat him going to WrestleMania 30, the feud is dead. So, yeah, you can't blame WWE for the up and down crazy life that Daniel Bryan is living. And it's not like he's a rock star drunk, not that. Just, I guess fate, karma, whatever you believe in. What has been crazy. It's been a roller coaster of a life, and not by design by him, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But, yeah, you can point the finger at Kane. I can't think of many people on the roster, maybe less than 5 people on the roster, and I'm just thinking the Great Khali. Who would be worse? I mean, 3MB would have been better. Zack Ryder would have been better. Who would have been worse besides the Great Khali? Can you think of anyone worse for Daniel Bryan to go against besides Great Khali than Kane?
Santino Marella, David
Really? I'm not really sure. I'm not sure about that one, bro. At least he had a little bit of comedy.
Camacho.
I don't know, man. At least, because my whole thing is, you're listing these names. But let me tell you a storyline that saves all that. Rocky 1. Rocky 1. He's Apollo and says, you know what? I'm a fighting champion. I never got my shot. I'm giving guys that never got their shot. Bam! Done. Roster qualifies except for Great Khali. Think about it. Oh, Camacho. That's worse than Kane. One promo. I never got a shot. I'm going to give someone else that never got a shot. Camacho, me, you, pay-per-view. Bam! Drops the mic. I'm out. That's better than Kane. So, yeah. So, I don't know. Comment time or back on track time?
Well, we're going to a Divas match, so it's tradition we go with comments.
All right. Wrestling Ranton. T.I. did not get his ass kicked. Yeah, no one really got their ass kicked. That was just a regular street brawl down in the thing. All your friends pushed up against each other. Some poor security guard got slashed in the back. Yeah, of course. He's not getting his ass kicked like, on YouTube videos, but, I mean, it's Floyd Mayweather Jr. Where do you think this is going? I don't know. But Cena was embarrassingly begging the crowd for cheers. He always does. It's getting bad. He has to turn heel, or he has to do a comedy gimmick with Bo Dallas.
I don't think he'd be getting the cheers he does get right now if it weren't for the Usos.
Yeah, and this is the comment we just answered. Bryan is not a mid-card champion when he's barely been able to be a champion. He's a victim of circumstance. Not much anything to do with book that. And I agree with that, but also Kane. Kane is your problem. You know, when you're like, you know, and my whole thing is maybe like, oh, get past Kane, stall for time, and then someone else comes. But still, at the end of the day, in the record book, your first feud was Kane, then you got injured. Yeah, well, maybe you should have had a better feud. So, yeah, I understand. Silver Long Tournament. Oh, my God, Wrestling Ranting. You just made me fall in love with you. Silver Long Tournament, a la Great American Bash meets King of the Ring. Brian faces the winner. Shh. There's moments we don't agree. I don't agree with Wrestling Ranting and everything he says. There's moments where you have to show respect for a great idea. And you know what? This is one of those moments. Slow clap for Wrestling Ranting. All right. Comment, Rihanna Jackson. Maybe now that Vince lost $350 million, and that's the stock options. There's a lot into that, but we'll keep going. It will be a wake-up call to them to make better choices. The WWE Network only has 700,000 subscribers, and there's supposed to be 15 million people in the WWE universe. Yeah. It's not as bad as the media is making it, but beyond it not being that bad, the media is making it that bad, and that's all Vince cares about. I think Vince is more pissed about the bad PR than because he knew there would be losses. He knew that it would take about a year to get 1 million things, and plus he's got to be in other countries. So I don't think Vince is as bad as the media makes it out to be, but I think Vince is fucking beyond pissed because he has such a huge ego. And he doesn't care about his fans. He doesn't care about he cares about his image and what other fans think. He cares more about non-wrestling fans, what they say about him, than wrestling fans do. And that's what's eating him alive. But yeah, as far as, you know, stock options go, A, publicly traded stocks is weird, and B, people don't pay attention to the finer details of what you say, and that hurts your stock. So you can't make promises and not make it clear. So, and not all that, but he's in trouble for tampering, so I don't know. So he's not as much trouble as people are making him out to be, but he's in trouble. But beyond that, his ego is hurt. I think that's the bigger thing. Do you want to add anything to that, Booms?
Not really. I mean, you got to admit, though, that 700,000, because essentially all you've got is the U.S. market right now. I mean, I think maybe you don't. Do they have Canada yet or not?
I'm going to say no, but I have no freaking idea, to be honest.
But, I mean, 700,000 is really not bad for just only one market. I mean, this is a global company. It's not available in all countries, so they were already limited with the amount of subscribers they could get. And the fact that they got 700,000 within 6 months of launching is actually not bad. I do agree that they do need to make some better choices. There was that one firm that suggested they get like it was a new executive team. I'm going off memory here. That was like a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I hope so too. But the last question here, and this actually leads into the next segment. It's from Miss Rihanna Jackson. Giggity giggity. She says, Dave. I don't know why she's ignoring me. I have no idea. You hurt my feelings there, Rihanna. She says, Dave. I've been thinking about this all week. Ooh, she's been thinking about you all week, Dave. Or maybe I'm taking that out of that context. But how do you not know that Alicia Fox was from Florida? Yeah, come on, Mr. South Florida boy. They announce where the wrestlers from every time they go to the ring. I have to go on Wikipedia to learn facts about a wrestler to form opinions about them.
Yeah, well, you know what? Sometimes you make mistakes. But the thing is, hear me out. Chris Benoit. Where's Chris Benoit from? You can eliminate the announcers. I'm pretty sure Ultimate Warrior is not from parts unknown. So yeah, Chris Benoit, Atlanta, Georgia when he's a good guy, but when he's a heel, he's from Canada. But when he's in Canada, he's from Canada. So yeah, and the same thing. So yeah, the announcer thing goes. The Wikipedia thing goes, but yeah, people make mistakes. But here's the crazy part. This is why I've made a lot of mistakes before. This is why it drives me crazy, and it got hit home. And yeah, I'll put my embarrassment out. But yeah, I've actually met her in person. I think I've talked to her like 3 or 4 times in person, maybe more, maybe 10 times. I don't know, somewhere between 3 and 10 times. Talked to her in person, and every time, like, how do you like it here in America? Oh, and she never corrected me. I thought that's why I think it became shocking. Because like because my whole thing is it's it's okay to make a mistake. I know this sounds crazy. It's okay to make mistakes. But to make a mistake 10 times in a row in front of the person and they not say anything, and I also been saying, like, that Alicia Fox has been from the UK for a while on the podcast, and no one corrected me. So, yeah. And as far as I always have to go on Wikipedia to learn facts about a wrestler to form opinions on them. I don't think so. I mean, I think she's a pretty improved wrestler. I don't really need to go to Wikipedia for that. I think she's beautiful. I don't have to go to Wikipedia for that. Let's see. I have an opinion on. Let's pull some who's. All right. The boxer. We talked about this earlier. I mean, the rapper T.I. I have no idea who T.I. is, but I'm going to go with the opinion it's a bad idea to try to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr. I didn't have to go to Wikipedia for that one. That's all I'm saying. And I guarantee there's people, like, you have no idea where Michael Bay's from. I bet you everyone that's, ha ha ha, she's from Florida, you have no idea. You have no idea where Michael Bay is from. I guarantee you thought Transformers sucked. I bet you don't know where Congress is from. So, yeah. I made a mistake. I apologize. I eat the crow. But, yeah, look up Wikipedia to have an opinion on someone. Let's put it this way. I don't have a Wikipedia page to the best of my knowledge. I am ugly. You didn't need Wikipedia to form that opinion. You know what I mean? Booms, did you need Wikipedia to know I was ugly?
No, I knew that from the first time I ever saw you.
All right, well, you better double-check Wikipedia. I don't know if I have a Wikipedia page. I don't know.
All right.
But
anyway, this match here, she's talking about, Alicia Fox. She wrestled Emma. And they're building, apparently her win last week got her a title shot against Paige for the Divas title at Payback. This match itself, I thought this was just going to be a straight-up squash match, but no, the shocker was Emma won the fucking match. Emma won the match. Alicia Fox goes batshit fucking crazy, rings the fucking bell, gives the fucking production guy a wedgie, and no, I'm not making that up. That actually happened. Threw soda on fans, on herself, pitched a hissy fit, and then, told the camera guy to get out of her face, kissed a worker, and I would have loved to have been that fucking worker. God damn it, WWE, I'll send you my resume. Hire me. Be like, we can pay you very little, but you will get kissed from time to time by Alicia Fox. I'll be like, deal. Anyway, I think this was completely back asswards with WWE. I felt like, it's to set this match up, why not have both of them be on winning streaks? Why not have Paige and Alicia Fox go on winning streaks, and then just have it as, okay, these two girls are on a roll here, boom, we're going to go to a pay-per-view. And, okay, if you can't do that, then, okay, let's just say we have to have the win last week against Paige, who sets her up for the title match. Why not have her cleanly beat Emma, take two, have Alicia Fox beat Emma very decisively, beat the crap out of her, and they're like, oh my God, if she does that against Paige this Sunday, we're going to have a new Divas champion. Instead, she loses and looks more crazy rather than, dangerous competition. So I don't know what the hell they were smoking back there in creative. This was absolutely stupid, bad booking. I do like Alicia Fox's new attitude. I think it really separates her from the rest of the Divas division. She's got the legs for it, because that vicious kick she gave him on the outside. Got more legs than a bucket of chicken. Hell yeah. Anyway, again, I just think it was just very, very poor booking, and I question the sanity of the person who booked it.
Not so fast, my fellow friends. First, Lee Corso. I disagree completely.
You're going to tell me that you're wrong? Because that would be correct.
I have been wrong before, but especially when it comes to Alicia Fox situations. But I have been wrong before. But no, I think this is helping build the women's division. AJ Lee, we don't know how long she's going to be. Paige is the champion, but she loses to Fox. We just talked about this earlier tonight with Umaga and John Cena, and sometimes it's okay to lose before a pay-per-view, especially if Alicia Fox is going to win the title. So I think it's building credibility to a lot of these women. The champion beats AJ Lee. Bam, her credibility goes up on the national stage. Alicia Fox beats her in a non-title match at Paige's home, not her home, as we learned roughly this week. I'm starting to feel some boom-boom heat on that one. So he builds Alicia Fox. Then Emma beats Alicia Fox, so you have 3 girls, and then if AJ Lee ever comes back, you're building a division. So I actually like where this is going. I like everything about this. The only thing that I have is I think the tantrums need to be shorter. Because it's starting to go into brawl territory. The longer she does the tantrum, the more you're like, oh, this is fake. If she does the tantrum, gives the wedgie, leaves, and you put it over, it's good. But, Cole was, begging to go to commercial. The fans really weren't into it much. And I always worry, this is going to be an un-PC moment, but it's honest, okay? Because I can just feel the dislikes coming. I worry when a female is a bully because it gives little girls the wrong impression. And especially if it's not against other girls, because there's going to be a girl that grows up watching this and be a star, and she's like, well, I can have a fit like that. And in the real world, JBL is not going to back down from her. In the real, you know what I'm saying? So I do worry about that stuff. I understand that you do have tough women out there. Ronda Rousey is the ultimate role model if you want, to be a tough woman. But you also have to realize, it's pump your brakes a little. I think they should make these segments shorter, and I think they could do it because I think you could have a little Detroit. Remember, we're aging ourselves here. Remember the Detroit Pistons when they were the bad boys? You remember the image, the feel they had? Do you remember that? Did you watch NBA back then? All right. No. Well, the Detroit Pistons were the bad boys, and I think you can make her like that of the Divas division, but do less stuff. Don't do everything. 1 week do a wedgie, 1 week steal the hat, 1 week, you know what I mean? Just be a jerk, but shorten your jerk up a little bit. Context is everything. But yeah, that's what I think. I really like it. I like the fact that Alicia Fox has character. I like that they're building up the women's division. I like everything about this. It's just when a brawl goes too long, or when a tantrum, bully goes too, when all this goes too long, it takes you out of it being real. I think it would have been perfect if it was shorter. She goes out, throws a wedgie, throws some soda on the fans, and exits. But the fact that it was really long and Cole's begging for a commercial and the fans ain't really buying it, I think hurts her chances. But I like everything about it, just the length. And, if you're going to be a tough guy character bully, you got to show that you can back it up. And right now, she's not showing backing it up. She's winning wrestling matches, but that's a lot different. Ronda Rousey can be like, hey, I want to do this. And people are like, holy shit, that's fucking Ronda Rousey. I don't think Alicia Fox is at that level yet. So, and even that, Ronda Rousey doesn't go as far. So I know you got to be over the top, but sometimes being so over the top takes you out of the zone. But I liked everything about this. I would have just shortened up the bullying thing. So we disagree.
Okay. I guess we can disagree, and you could be wrong. I mean, that's fine, I still live in America. I can respect things like that.
I still live in America. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, next here, oh, dear God. Damien. Oh, my God. If you want to talk about somebody who's in a goddamn free fall as far as his career goes, he went from winning Money in the Bank to challenging John Cena for the heavyweight title.
In a great match.
Yeah, to being Davy Crockett on Raw from Knoxville, Tennessee, and challenging Adam Rose to a match that didn't even go 2 minutes. As soon as Jack Swagger came out, I just was like, click, I know where this is going. They're setting up for a match at Payback. I'm not interested. Bye.
Yeah, I find it to be a little bit interesting. His stuff did drop, and I wonder because I bet you this is my thing. I'm a wrestling theory, shall we say, a wrestling theory. I guarantee he pissed someone off in the back, and they said, "Listen, do these funny gimmicks, and then we'll eventually push you later down the road." And that push is never coming. Because remember they faked the pipe bomb and no one gave a shit, and now he just dresses up as characters. I just feel bad for him because he's so talented and had everything going for him. If there was anyone if anyone goes, I would love to know the answer what he did to deserve this. And who knows?
The answer is he parked in Stephanie McMahon's parking spot in Titan Towers. That's the only logical explanation.
Right now it is. That's the leading candidate. So, but yeah, I just feel bad for him because he's so talented and he's everything WWE wants. He's everything WWE wants in a character, in a person. What the hell went wrong? I thought for sure he would be high mid-card main eventer right now. I thought for sure that was going to happen. I even thought they would give him a short title run. I don't know. I thought the future was bright for him, but man, and the thing is, talking about stock prices, I would have probably lost $300 million if I had invested in him. I thought for sure. Am I wrong? Am I crazy here? Am I wrong for thinking he had star quality to be a star in WWE?
No, I mean, here's the thing. He's athletic. He's educated. He's well-spoken. He looks nice in a suit. He carries himself quite well. As far as I know, he's never had any kind of issues with with alcohol or any kind of substance abuse whatsoever. He is somebody that I think if they were to pull him, at random, said, Damien, get up here now, and he just showed up at a stockholders meeting, they wouldn't be embarrassed of him. They would be embarrassed to put him up in front of the media in a press conference, but for whatever reason, they're just burying him. There's just no other word to use. I mean, that's straight. I know that sometimes we tend to use that word a lot more than what we should, but there's no other way to put it. He's getting straight up buried.
Yeah, and I just don't understand it. Yeah, and not only that, but one thing that you detailed a lot of things, but I just want to add one more thing to his resume. There's a big debate over, IWC, internet fans, live crowd audience, there's always that debate. But I think he was popular with every stereotype / label you could put on a fan. I don't think there's a set of fans that were like, oh, I don't like this guy. It's not like John Cena who's like, oh, those damn internets, they ruin everything. Or it's not like, hey, like Cesaro early in his career, right? He's not getting a response, but the internet loves him. I think it's one of those things. The internet was on board. The live fans were on board. I have no idea why he's not high mid-card, low main event right now. None whatsoever. It's probably the biggest mystery. You know what? If I had mysteries in my life right now, one, why do my kids only bug me when I have something to accomplish? Two, why did I ask Alicia Fox 10 times and she never corrected me? And three, what happened to Damien Sandow? I think those are the three biggest mysteries of my life right now. All right, hopefully one day we'll find the answer. Because at this record, he will definitely be doing an RF shoot video within the next 2 years. I mean, if his career keeps going down this path, you can expect to see a shoot interview somewhere. And I'll buy that one, because this is interesting. He had everything. I felt like he had everything would lead up to like a Disney thing. He had everything, and then one Christmas Eve, he didn't help a homeless guy, and that homeless guy would show him what it was like to be a family man. Nicolas Cage is the family man. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's a family man thing. Like, hey, you have everything. Let's take it away and see how you do. And you're like, you know what? I really don't like wrestling. I like spending time with my kids in this pretend world.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine.
Makes more sense.
Let me ask you this. We're missing the other guy here, Adam Rose. I mean, technically, he hasn't wrestled a full match since he's debuted. And his gimmick, I mean, it was perfect for NXT, but it's not really doing well with WWE over on Raw because, like the argument I made was it's like taking your favorite garage band or your favorite bar band and then putting them in like a stadium. It's not they suddenly suck. I mean, it's just not what they're used to, not what they're tailored towards. It's the same thing with like a big band. It'd be like taking the Rolling Stones and putting them and taking them out of a stadium and put them to like a dive bar. I mean, it just totally wouldn't work. So I mean, do you think this Adam Rose thing is going to turn out to be something? Do you think they're going to commit with Adam Rose, or do you think that they're going to have to repackage him, reconsider, or tweak his character a little bit to adjust it towards Raw? Or do you think he's just going to, unfortunately, go the way of people like Damian Sandow and Zack Ryder and just basically be a jobber to the stars?
You know what? I know exactly what's going to happen to him. He's Fandango Jr. He got over at NXT and got over with the UK crowd. No one else gives a shit about him. I mean, Fandango and Adam Rose, I mean, I guarantee if I was him, I'd start dating one of the Total Divas, if there's any left to date. I honestly think he's going exactly the same way as Fandango. Because the thing is, he's got internet popularity, he's got UK popularity, he's got NXT popularity, but it's just in the big stadiums, like you said, it's just not catching on. I mean, the UK last week it was pretty crazy. You have to admit that they were into it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I think it's Fandango Jr. If he wants his career to go long, you better. And he's old, and the Total Divas are young. I would definitely start dating any Total Diva, and just hope for the best. Because I honestly think whatever happens to Fandango is going to happen to Adam Rose. He's the next Fandango. Is he super popular? Do people love him? And like, oh, you don't get it, old man. Of course. But, once again, the demographic is teen to nerd. There's a lot of old nerds that just don't get it in America. So, yeah, I wish him luck, but at the same time, I don't see what the youngins see. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that South Park episode where he's listening to the music that the kids listen to, and he's like, yeah, I like this, but he really doesn't. That's what I feel like with Adam Rose. I'm like, maybe. I mean, I wish him luck. I mean, Rob from Con Artist, he loves it. He's like, don't be a lemon, be a rosebud. I'm like, I get it. Can we please talk about something else? But, yeah, I don't get it. And maybe I'm just too old. You're a bit younger than me. I use the word a bit. Do you get it? Do you find it interesting?
Yeah, I find it interesting. I mean, I like it. I'm entertained by it. I just like it better when he's on NXT, and it's a more intimate crowd. It's a more enclosed area. It works, but when you've got these huge arenas that he's going to, it looks kind of silly because, here's all these people that are away from the crowd, all dressed up in costumes, yay, jumping around. Whereas in NXT, you can just reach out and touch them. I mean, it's like they're part of the actual crowd, and I think maybe it needs some tweaking. But it works for NXT, but it's not working in the big arenas, and that's not necessarily Adam Rose's fault.
Yeah, my whole thing is, I mentioned this in the other shows, but I don't know if you ever gave your opinion. I think they should have it like Major League Baseball. NXT, main event, Superstar, SmackDown, then Raw. Do you think if they had a program like that, where you could be sent down and up like Major League Baseball, you know what I'm talking about, Major League Baseball, do you think people that are making this NXT jump would be better off? Like, you're like, oh, okay, you're over in NXT. Let's try you at main event. Okay, you're over at main event. Let's try. Okay, we could skip Superstar. Probably Superstar is below main event, but you get the idea. And then like, oh, you didn't get over at main event, so we're bringing you back down. Do you think in the future they would have a baseball system like that, like AA, AAA?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they've already done that. Remember, they did that with Bo Dallas. Remember, he debuted officially. Remember, he debuted at the Royal Rumble, not this past January, with the January before. And he wrestled, I think 2 matches against Wade Barrett, went back down to NXT. They retweaked his character. They gave him the Bo Leave gimmick. They spent, the rest of the year getting that over. And about a little over a year later, so we'll say about 13, 14 months later, bam, he's back on, Monday Night Raw, different character, different everything, and this works.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I'd like to see where it goes. If you're part of the younger generation of the internet imagery, leave what you think, because I think this connects to you guys more than it connects to me. All right, next match.
Next year, this was kind of like by default our main event because this was the actual last wrestling segment. You had Sheamus versus Alberto Del Rio, and Dave, I absolutely loved it. Why? Because I was able to, get my shirt ironed. I was able to go to the bathroom. I was able to get my lunch fixed for the next day. Oh man, it was great. I had all this time, that I was like, oh, there's two people I don't care about, and it's a non-title match, so I don't give a shit even more. This is great. I was able to get all this stuff. I was able to get online, start checking some emails, check up with Dave. Oh man, it was great. But the match, not so great. The only thing that was interesting about it was after Sheamus won via the Bro Kick, Paul Heyman actually had stolen the microphone and said, yeah, he won. Oh, here's a really big announcement for you. My client, Brock Lesnar, broke the Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania, and then Cesaro came out, was beating up Sheamus, hit him with the neutralizer, and setting up this feud for Payback.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just. This is why I really don't like WWE. This is WWE's wrestling at its finest. Just super safe, mailing it in. I don't know. Every time I watch this, I'm just like, man, I wish New Japan would get on the national stage in America, around the world, the Western world. And I don't know. I just don't find it interesting. And you know what? The only match I do kind of care about this week. What's this week? For Extreme Rules. What's our pay-per-view profits? Extreme Rules.
No, pay-per-view profits. We got Payback.
Oh, Payback, same thing. But yeah, the only match I'm looking forward to, and I know it's going to be a disappointment. Sheamus is the king of disappointments. Is maybe Cesaro winning a title. I'd love to see Cesaro win the title. There's rumors all about the internet. Sheamus turning heel, joining the Horsemen, and I'm being sarcastic. There's all types of rumors about Sheamus, and just him losing the title would really help out.
I kind of wish he would turn heel and join Evolution. Then Del Rio's contract would expire. Then all the people that we hated would be in one segment in the show. We could get it out of the way. Then we could sit and watch the other 2.5 hours of Raw.
Dun, 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 dun! You forgot someone.
Damn it, Dave. Now you made me sad.
Sorry. Well, maybe John Cena and please not the Usos, someone else. Like, I would love to start a feud that just is a 6-man feud that lasts forever. You have Evolution, John Cena, and 2 more people. Maybe a good guy, Kane. Who would you like to see in that feud? Just so that we can know we don't give a shit about it. Evolution versus John Cena and 2 other guys. Get the Usos out of there. That would be awesome. We'd never have to deal with it again. But who knows? Evolution, they bring their A game against the Shield last pay-per-view, so maybe they'll do it again. But I always rooted for that. Like at WrestleMania, when they were breaking down the cards, and I've been doing this for years, everyone I hate, I hope gets in the same match. Like, oh, I hate that guy. Okay, they're all in the same match. Good for them. When they break it up, it's like Batista, John Cena, Orton, Sheamus, Del Rio. They all have separate matches. I'm like, fuck! Yeah, this match happens, and hopefully Cesaro saves us from that. All right, is it time for the main event, contract signing?
Yes, it is.
All right, hold on. No one's answering this down in the comments. I'm a little heartbroken. I want to know what person in the whole universe, I got Godzilla versus Zombie George Washington, anyone, fictional, real, religious, pro wrestling, not pro wrestling, anything. What in the world's contract signing would be worthy of ending a Raw? Because I think the contract signing before, it was like, you know what, this is a bad Raw, but it's not been that bad. But to end it on a contract signing, so there you go. Booms, have you thought of anyone? You thought not Macho Man. You had Stone Cold and who?
I don't know. If it was like God versus the devil for the fate of mankind, maybe that would probably be worth watching. Or maybe like Morgan Freeman versus Samuel L. Jackson in a verbal debate. Maybe I could see that. But that's only stuff that's popping in my head.
So, all right. Player Dies. Player Dies keeps sending comments. Player Dies, I want to get to all your stuff, but let's save that for Stump the Idiot. Or maybe I should do a separate show just to have an argument with Player Dies. But Player Dies, don't worry. I won't run and hide. Maybe I will. If I run and hide, it's just because I forgot. But I'm going to make it top priority. I'm going to get your comments, make it, and any other questions you have would be cool. All right. I mean, is there anything to say? A contract signing happened. The only good thing about this is Evolution got the best of them going into the pay-per-view. So maybe the Shield can win again. That's the only good thing I can see out of it. Do you see anything good out of this contract signing?
I mean, or better yet, Dave, has there ever been a contract signing where all there was a contract signing? I mean, like, they signed a contract. I mean, no words were said. There was no pushing, no shoving, no, like, odd stares, no, handshakes that could turn into a fight, no chairs thrown. Has that ever happened?
I'm going to go with no, but there probably was back in the day. I'm going to say my punch-drunk memory, I'm going to go with probably not, but I don't know. Maybe that'll be a bonus trivia question for everyone. I know there's been a marriage, because remember Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth had a wedding, and that didn't go without an attack. So there's been a marriage that didn't go without an attack.
Well, the honeymoon got
I'm not sure. No, there's always been, because I was even thinking maybe Rock Cena, but it's always someone put on a finisher on someone. So, yeah, I don't know. I just don't see, like, my whole thing is, what are they thinking? You have these people that have been in wrestling their whole lives, part of creative. You have these people that have written. They know story structure. They know how to write in television. They know how, you have these people that, and even if they don't know it, they were taught it. You can't go to college and become a writer and not know story structure. You were at least taught story structure. Even if you break story structure, you were taught story structure. Who goes in knowing that? Who's told a story before going, you know what? Let's end Raw with a contract signing. Good idea! And my whole thing is, I understand that you make a mistake once. Everyone makes a mistake, from time to time. Rumor has it, even I have. But everyone makes mistakes, but to make the same mistake over and over and over and over again. Do they think? I don't know. To me, it's like the ultimate mailing it in. Okay, let's do a contract signing. Got it. I can send it home. I can't. And I'm saying this is WWE level. I can't see that working even on an indie level. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get the contract signing. But yeah, hopefully we get some good comments down below. All right, let's take a couple more. Player dies, the battle will go on. Maybe I'll go one-on-one with you, or maybe you'll start Stump the Idiot, but there will be a battle. Malik Douglas says, I thought his gimmick was cool on NXT, but that's probably because I know the source material they used for it. And his old theme was great and it fit in with the whole college party thing. Right now, though, I don't like it on the main roster gimmick. And he's talking about Adam Rose. If no one's interested, then it just shouldn't be there. The crowds are bored all the time, and this isn't going to get them any more excited. Yeah. I mean, I guess what they're doing is they're hoping that it catches on. And sometimes, I think there's been times where stuff hasn't caught on and it's caught on later. I mean, Bill Goldberg, a lot of people always picture him being over, but they piped in that music until he got over. So yeah, Goldberg.
An example of that would be Bad News Barrett. I mean, remember we were like, what the fuck is this? And now everybody's like, I mean, hell, there's even memes now. I've got some bad news.
So I guess they're trying to see like a Bad News Barrett. That's a better, more recent example. But so they're like, hey, Bad News Barrett worked on YouTube. It didn't work at first, and now it is working. I think they're thinking the same thing with Adam Rose. But then again, how long do you go? And Fandango had that problem too. My prediction is, if I had to put stock, he's the next Fandango. He's going to be in a mid-card feud, and he'll get super over with the Rowdy Crowds. All right, Booms. I think that's it for comments, questions. I'm tired. You're tired. You want to wrap this bad boy up?
Yeah, let's put a bow on this bad boy. I want to tell everybody out there, be sure to check us out at Kocosports.com. That's www.kocosports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling. If you can get your nose broke doing it, man, we got you covered. I would recommend jumping over there right now and going to our video on demand section. You'll see some nice video from Chikara. We've even got some video from Yokohama, Japan, and you'll find out exactly why Dave Kokotis is still butthurt. It's beautiful. So be sure to check it out at Kocosports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass.
I want to thank Pablo for being part of the show, setting up the comments, always helping with the website. Also, Pablo and Jerry and Cooey have been doing amazing things to make the site a lot better. Go there, buy a T-shirt. I'm gonna talk to Pablo later tonight and beg him to design some new T-shirts. Be like, we sold 3, Pablo. Then we have a second shirt. I guarantee we'll sell 6. But please go buy a shirt so I can make it easier to beg Pablo for more shirts. It's an internet inventory right on the front page of Kocosports.com. If you're a local promoter, we do have a printing option, so go check that out. Also, we plan on doing a lot more videos. The last, 2 weeks, I've been really lazy for what my goal is. I mean, we've still been doing the core shows, and Boom Boom's been rocking it, but I was hoping to do more. We will be doing a Stump the Idiot, maybe a one-on-one with Player Dies about ROH. I'll read his comments. Maybe that will just start off the Stump the Idiot. And we will be doing a pay-per-view profit. So, yeah, so I appreciate all those part of the internet inventory, and hopefully we keep growing. Booms, as always, thank you. And, of course, happy Memorial Day to Americans. I think America's the only one that celebrates Memorial Day. Am I correct about that? I assume so.
I think they have
I've been wrong before.
I think it's Remembrance Day in Canada or Great Britain, but I mean that's just off the top of my head right now. I don't know that to be fair. I know there's something similar in another country, but I believe it's referred to as Remembrance Day. So, but yeah, as far as Memorial Day goes, yes.
And please go to Kocosports.com. The whole staff is working really hard, and hopefully we can get the audience we once had and surpassed it. All right, thank you for everything. And with that, Kocosports.com, I am